sucks. Hey!
The Lost Art with Andrew Cox podcast. A Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Now streaming on all major podcast platforms. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that has given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we're having a veteran story. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? Make sure you hit up the website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out, see what we're all about. There's a couple ways you can help support the podcast. You can become a patron with a monthly donation, or you can just go in and get you some cool merchandise. Both of those helps in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. I want to give a big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project. They're out there doing amazing things. I know for most of the military folks out there, you know what Till Valhalla Project does and what they're all about. But for those that don't, make sure you go hit up their website. That's tillvalhallaproject.com. Oh, I made a mistake. .com. All right, here we go. Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member. I want to welcome Mr. Paul Durso, the motivated, legendary Marine. How you doing, Paul?
Good morning, Master Gunner Sergeant, retired. Woo, we got an extended title on you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So, hey, I first met you. I just want to kind of talk about this. I think the first time I met you, I was at Pendleton, right? And you came down to visit the band hall and stuff like that. Was that the first time that I met you?
That is correct. Probably at the reunion time, you also attended our Military Marine Corps Musicians Association, talk about it later, and that you cooperated and attended that. A lot of fun.
Absolutely. So we go back a little ways, but I don't go back as far as the beginning for you. Like, where did you grow up? What drew you to the military service? And then we'll kind of walk through your career, but let's go all the way back to there, if you don't mind.
Okay. You know, I'm going to take you on a journey.
All right.
Going back to the beginning is not really the beginning for some. You can see from my background here, well, I'm in California and have been since the middle of the last century. But the roots of one's beginning is what the beginning is in the background. I'm from the New York metropolitan area, and from my hometown, which is actually Bayonne, New Jersey. The Hudson River separates the line there. So on a Saturday night, you can go down to the river in Bayonne, the Bay, the Hudson, look out, and this is what you'll see. This is who I am. This is where it all began. And I got to tell you, the beginnings again, it's important for whoever in the future will look at this telecast, study, research, what inspires. Those are words. What influences? Those are words. What is the spark that makes us want to do whatever we're going to do in life? I got to tell you, I got to go back to the womb.
Okay, yeah.
My mother. Oh, I think like most babies, we come out struggling. No, I think I came out with a DNA disposition. I believe I was marching out. I believe I was already coming in, marching, and from then on, the influences were inspired. My mother, I have to tell you, was my first DI.
Nice.
You are a club member, a former drill instructor yourself. My mother was boot camp, kick ass, no nonsense. You did your tours, you did your work, you did your bed, she helped quite a bit, but she was a wonderful, inspiring person that gave me so much growing up. I was inspired by the surrounding environment. At that time, we were entering the quiet zone. I like to call it the blue zone, post World War II, post Korea. That quiet area after Korea, things calmed down.
Right.
I was growing up, all of my family, both sides were military, active. My father is a World War II veteran, inspiration. My uncles, both sides. And I would share with you one big spark. It's so nice to have an inspired person like a brother. And I had a brother, and rather than just tell you about it, sometimes we can do it right like that. This is my brother, and you see the uniform that he is wearing.
Yeah.
This
Very nice.
is a Marine, 48 to 52, Korea, tanks, an inspiration, a hero. These are the things that inspire you as you're growing up. So it's not just, oh, what am I going to do at 17? Let me try this, let me try that. Nah, I was set. I was prepared. I grew up active. I grew up athletic. I grew up, things were happening. I got interested in music. Oh, music, Jesus. We'll get into that later too. But mostly I was an athlete. And again, this was a time of a quiet zone of the 50s where Eisenhower administration, and sometimes when there's no action going on, you tend to set back and relax. Well, the press picked up that we were beginning to get soft. Oh, we were on duty. It was the Cold War, but fortunately, it didn't get hot. But it was the Cold War. But the administration was picking up a feeling that our youth were not getting prepared with discipline, exercise, fitness. Well, who else but who better to pick up the ball for continued inspiration but the United States Marine Corps? Somehow, as a recruiting thing, I think it works out pretty good. They went and started putting their exercises of boot camp into all the high schools. It's spread.
Oh, very nice.
I got hooked up with a Marine recruiting sergeant. I'm going to mention his name. He has passed on, but he is really behind legends. There are always legends that make legends. William H. Bill Miller, a recruiting architect. This guy had clubs in my community, softball, martial arts, scuba diving, judo.
Wow.
I mean, wow. He would groom the boys, help the boys, guide the boys that weren't even ready. They weren't even candidates. What a wonderful inspiration. What a wonderful idea. Sure enough, I got interested. I was already active, moving my body, tumbling. I walked into one of his invited classes at the Bayonne Naval Base for this mysterious activity called Judo. I don't want to go too fast there for the audience. The gentle way. And that was the beginning, what would be for the rest of my life. Lessons in discipline, control, judo, and it just went on. Now, while we were there, this gets hotter and better. Back to that Marine Corps physical fitness. The Marine Corps decided to take their 5 exercises, pull-ups, push-ups, squat trim, squat thrust, and the 300-yard shuttle run. and not only put it in the high schools, let's have a competition. Whoa,
Of course.
we're getting serious here. Let's have a competition. And chase to the cut here for purposes of, we want to get into, but this is part of the Marine Corps for me. You are now interviewing the first United States Marine Corps physical fitness high school champion. I
Wow.
went to this tournament. Press was already covering me. I have articles on it that I was making Marine Corps history as a student. Mind you, I'm not in boot camp yet. I'm already going through my boot camp. So lo and behold, yes, I went into this tournament, and 3 states, they came from all over, New York, Long Island, Connecticut, Jersey, and I won it. Not only did I win it, but my score was so high and my teammates were so high that we won as a team. So I just wanted to share with you, pictures speak a lot of words here, that here is the first.
Oh, it's going in and out there.
There it is. This is the first. There it is.
Yeah.
There. The first high school physical fitness champion with Jim Howell. And I want you to take note that there are 2 Marines officers here.
Right.
We'll get to that in a moment. But to think of it, there it is, first place on the podium, long, long time ago. So this leverage and this preparation, I mean, look, even Marine Corps recruiting news on their news.
Wow. Yeah.
There it is, front page. So there's nothing like being the first of something, anything. This was to be an enlightenment. The local press covered it. We became stars. We were invited to the White House. Only one White House. We were to be guests of the Commander-in-Chief, President of the United States. Somebody messed up our timing. You don't keep the Commander-in-Chief waiting. So we had to settle for Sam Rayburn, the Speaker of the House. And right after that, here we go again. None other than the Commandant of the Marine Corps himself.
Yeah.
In Washington at the Pentagon. So
that's
we were very
cool.
fortunate. Yeah, we were very fortunate. And this, I mean, when you say what drags you into the Marine Corps, this is what I mean by my DNA. Here we are at the none other than the Iwo Jima exhibit with the mayor of Bayonne.
Okay.
And the team, and the 3rd place finisher as well. So
wow.
What an excitement, what an influence. And this was to lead me when my time came. Who do you know has a press conference before they enter the Marine Corps? Well, I mean, movie stars did. Elvis Presley did. I mean, they followed him at the boot camp while they cut his hair off. And lo and behold, I have to tell you, yes, the word got out, and I was followed into the swearing-in ceremonies with the captain recruiting as I was entering boot camp.
Wow.
The recruiting sergeant that recruited me, not Bill Miller. He's, well, you know, movement in the Corps, we move around. So I was very much followed press-wise, picture-wise, all the way in. Now, here we are, getting ready to go to boot camp, and what an experience. That said, if I may, I'll just chase here to the cup because I know it's about my Marine Corps experiences, but I have to be gentle with my audience, and I'll be honest, I'm not a Medal of Honor winner. I did not see some of the catastrophes that my fellow Marines, and I was yet prepared to do and go, but did not. Praise to whoever you want to praise, Lord, God, luck. In that blue zone, it was a quiet time. And I'm fortunate. So I'm taking you on a journey of a military experience that will not divulge death, blood, but rather accomplishment, achievement, preparation, sentiment that has lasted me into this next century. God bless. So I'm happy
Very
to share
nice.
this
Well,
story.
hey, Paul, I got to tell you, I always say that every veteran story is important. Whether you went to combat or not, it doesn't matter. Every veteran story is important, and all of them need to be heard. And that's kind of what we're doing. And I thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank
This is
you.
good.
Thank you. But I give respect to my fellow veterans, Marines, other areas that have stories that have yet to be told. They need to tell their story. I'm sharing this story not necessarily with shame, but with pride in that it is expected. You know, I'm going through boot camp now. Oh my God. The gunnery sergeants, the drill instructors, they don't know how to handle this freak. I'm a freak. As a drill instructor, have you ever said to a recruit, maggot, stop doing push-ups? Jesus Christ, words don't come out like that. Private Durso, they couldn't say my name. Poor guys, God bless them. We don't forget our drill instructors. That's a reflection on you, sir. You have they may forget the conductor, they may forget the bandmaster. They will not forget their DIs. And
Very true.
they couldn't say Durso. You know, hey, Durso. A couple of them were from Georgia, the other one from Tennessee. Private Durso, get off that high bar. Get off the high bar. Well, I would grab the bar while Marines before me were 1, 3, next. Well, Private Durso jumps up 7, 10, 14. I start snapping them. 18, 19. They didn't know what to do. Private Durso, get off the bar. Because I was holding up the line. I mean, they're training Marines. They're not training some freak athlete here. This is ridiculous. Well, at the time, what do I know? So the word now gets out, as you know, among your peers. My animal is a lot better than your animal. Oh, I got Private Durso, get out here. I start doing push-ups, but they're still talking, and I'm still doing push-ups. So the word got out. It was a wonderful experience, and competition was also there. I became, of course, a leader. I was picked as the flag bearer. Now, and for our audience who maybe forgets, she who becomes the flag bearer is potentially the leader of the platoon, top of the food chain, dress blues, PFC. Easy. So that said, I went into this competition. I was the top athlete of the regiment. I brought pride to my unit. I brought pride to the drill instructor. Oh, God. They had this freak, this animal. And that said, I want my audience to know that with all this preparation, with all this success, I learned coming out of boot camp, never be seduced by expectations of who you think you are. You see, as much as I have done throughout life, boot camp is the beginning, I was not picked for dress blues as the top. I missed my sharpshooter. These guys from Tennessee and Kentucky and the hills of Georgia were squeezing them off, expert. They were good. They were my peers. I got calls 25 and 50 years later from people that remembered me in boot camp. We didn't even go to war. So, no, I was not awarded because somewhere along the line, my senior DI, what a piece of work he was, a World War II psychopathic killer. He saw something and he wanted to give me a lesson, and a lesson he did. not the top recruit. So that was it. And you know, it humbled me. It gives me a lesson. It tells the audience that will listen to this podcast someday, watch out. Watch out for you. I did not learn this humility until later on in the Corps through the martial arts, and I had to go all the way to Okinawa to learn this. So it was a humbling, wonderful experience. I got through boot camp, and yes, I was honored in my advanced infantry training out of Lejeune, Camp Geiger. Yes, I was promoted E1, and my life went on. I was assigned to the first duty station at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I was assigned, believe it or not, with all you may know about me, I'm an 0300. I'm a grunt.
No kidding.
Yeah, see, people don't know that. While back in boot camp, we were humming to the hum of the DI. Cuba, Cuba, here we come. Castro, Castro, you better run all the way. Gotta go. Oh, yes. But you see, fortunately, faith. Thank you, Commander-in-Chief, President Kennedy. We fixed the problem. But while I was there, so now you know my time period, I believe that this podcast would have never been made. I stated this in my high school blog at reunions, that had they not fixed this problem, I know I'd have been in the first wave. Second for sure, because that company gunnery sergeant was whispering in my ear, Durso, recon. They wanted me to kill people. They wanted to, between my training, my martial arts, my leader, I was going in the first wave. Leave it at that. So back to Camp Lejeune, things were calm. No, I was not bothered. I was left to be a Marine. Yo, PFT, Private Durso, get out here. Get that mop, clean that toilet, and get that brass. And yesterday, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm in the Marine Corps. I'm an 03. So it was a wonderful awakening. The humbleness is a healthy thing to have. I was my father's only son. I lost my father before I came into the Marine Corps. Others took his space, never his place. Friends, athletes, teachers, Bill Miller, my first juror, Al Williams, Gene, God, the tumbling, men in the Marine Corps, as you know, becomes a family, never to be forgotten. New brothers and sisters, exciting. So I'm a grunt. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. And you know, Camp Lejeune, it can get a little chilly, a little nasty. So we had a regimental parade going, full gear, combat gear, ready to go, standing at Lejeune parade deck, a little misty rain, quiet. And all of a sudden in the background, I hear, ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, ching-a-dum, ba, here they come. Your and my inspiration for. And I'm standing there and I'm saying, what the hell? I can do this. I can do that. I have done that. High school band. Played music in small band combos. I played in professional bands, but yet I had other ability. And Marine, the grunt is the core of the Corps. Highly respected. I don't play no music for now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, but sure enough, I went back to my squad bay, took my gear off, and on my own, God forbid if I ask somebody, I'm not even going to enter this conversation. I went over, I found out where they were, walked in cold. What guts, what stupidity, what arrogance, I don't know. Walked in cold, got lucky again. The band officer was around. Gunner, PFC Durso, I can do this. He looked at me. Yo, Charlie, Bandmaster Charlie Bush, never forgot him. Listen to this kid. Eat that. Go get him a horn. Whoa, whoa. So I'm getting a spot on interview by CWO, never forgot him, saw him later at our reunions, Fearless Frank Barthol. Interviewed me. Now here I go. What chops? I hadn't played I've been busy. Been going through boot camp, humming, and I'm in the grunt 03. Can you read? Can you give me a scale? Ba 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 bum. Ba 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 bum. Give me chromatic. Ba 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 bum. Ba 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 bum. Can you read? Read. Chase to a cut again. We'll take them. Go back to your barracks, stand by. 2 months later, I was in the band. Oh,
Nice.
yes. Wonderful transition, which was to become very special to me because of many reasons that you understand. And for our listeners, what'd you do in the band? You only played the whoa, whoa, whoa. We'll get into that later too. So because I was junior in a little booth, it happened to be downstairs, they housed the drum and bugle corps, and upstairs was the band.
Okay.
So I did my duty. I didn't consider it a demotion or a lack of experience. They knew I was new and boot, but I went down into the drum corps, and it was a wonderful, enlightening. Those rudimentalists, rather than the bum 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 bum, no, no, no. Those rudimentalists downstairs, the spark, the hit, the fight. God bless, only you know and appreciate. I had a wonderful, wonderful time, and I only share that with a wonderful, there I am, baritone, bugle, sitting in the barracks. The word got out again. My chops. I was an athlete. I would blow that horn. I didn't know what PPPP. Oh, I knew what it was. I never paid much attention to it. I was martial arts on this baritone bugle. And Staff Sergeant to become Master Gunnery Sergeant Donald Farmer was like, whoa. Bill Belrose, Gunnery Sergeant, when I got to Okinawa, couldn't wait till I got there with this delivery, this power. It was a wonderful experience, a wonderful transition, and I had a lot of fun. But my dream was in the back of my mind that I wanted to continue my martial arts discipline training. I had already started karate before the Marine Corps. I was already active in judo before the Marine Corps. I was mixing my martial arts before they ever used the word mix. Look
right.
where
Yeah.
Huh? You've got it. So I went and I was playing handball. I kept up my skills. I am also, before the Marine Corps, I am the city singles handball champion, junior and senior singles. So those skills I consider to be hand-eye coordinated preparation for martial arts. I'm in a book in the future. Didn't know this at the time, but all of this would be eventually put down and documented. So I'm playing with a major, and my superiority in skills and fitness was complimentary to him. He couldn't win nothing, but I made a friend. He won, well, you got to be humble and polite. We're in our shorts. He doesn't know what I am. I don't know what he is. I'm Major. Oh, whoa, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shit, he still lost anyway. Come to be that a month later, I don't know. Things are funny, but we played the band and the drum corps together at the Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What a gig. Upon my return from New Orleans, Louisiana, midnight almost, and Master Gunnery Sergeant Gordy Pfeiffer, Christ, he was in 40 years then. Durso, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You're going to Okinawa. Bang. A dream has now come true. I couldn't sleep. I was excited. My colleagues in the drum corps were counseling me, and the band too. were helping me. Dozo, here's what you do, here's what you eat, here's where you go. In the meantime, I had made friends with John, my very good friend. We were both Jersey boys, he from Patterson, myself being from Bayonne. Martial arts hooked us together. And he went ahead of me, Okinawa. He went ahead. And I never thought I would catch him again, but I did. So I'm very grateful that again, I got luck, that the Marine Corps gods were watching me and sent me to my dream. What a wonderful experience to go there and experience what I was yet to experience. So that said, give me a drink of water here. I'm moving along.
Yeah.
But Okinawa was to be something that would stay with me for the rest of my life and still has in so many ways. I'm so sorry to witness some of my colleagues, friends, fellow Marines that went there and were bored. It saddened me and broke my heart that they would be depressed. We did not have the techniques of diagnostic understanding post-traumatic stress disorder. What the hell are you talking? What are you, crazy? You got whacked, slapped? I mean, my drill instructors were nuns. I was raised in a Catholic order. Besides my mother, I forgot to mention, I was raised, but if I didn't lock my heels, then I got whacked by nuns long before a drill instructor. But returning to Okinawa, it saddened me that I would see many of them not taking advantage of the opportunities of learning, scholarly learning, academic learning, military learning. They were all seduced by depression, alcohol, the girls. Whoa. I mean, if you didn't get depressed, if you didn't get excited about that, go see a doctor. There's something wrong with you. I mean, I ain't going to tell you what $2 got you. Woo! It was a happy, happy experience, let alone endings. That said, I continued my studies in the martial arts. The drum corps, Belrose was waiting for me. The drum corps was not to be. In 30 days, it was disbanded. Of 18 to 25 Marines, they kept 7 or 8 of us.
Wow.
I was one of the 7 or 8, along with would be my friend for the rest of my life, Sergeant to become Master Gunnery Sergeant, Jim Genovese. And we were kept because he began his career as a drum major. I was a musician. I could read, B flat, trumpet, and the rest was sent to other areas of MOSs throughout the Marine Corps. I stayed with the band, continued my martial arts. I became a member of the All Marine Corps judo team, of which I was very active. I was the All Marine Corps judo champion. I made the team, and we traveled to Sasebo. There I am receiving the trophy for on Okinawa. So I was constantly active. I was also the STO3 handball champion, singles champion. So activities were just, I'm busy. I traveled to Sasebo, Japan with the Marine Corps judo team, and I became the Far East inter-service judo champion at my weight category.
Wow.
So many honors.
That's very good.
To my corps, to my unit, to myself. I'm busy. Along this time, not coming up for air here, John and I were having fun socially. What do band people do in the middle of Okinawa or in the middle when they're not doing a gig? They don't change color. They carry their skills to the street.
That's right.
We all of a sudden doo-wop. Yo, John, pick up on it. Pop, 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 bo. We were picking up dialogue we were picking up songs from the village and entertaining the laundromat, the barber lady, where we would go pick up our clothes, uniforms. Somewhere, somehow along the line, someone said, pretty good, pretty good. You need to talk to. We went down to a studio and interviewed for a part in a show. It was again a competition and a talent show. Now, this is something that you've had a taste of, because I believe you hosted me and I shared this story, which we're not going to get into the depths now. I'm just trying to give you a little highlight of my military experience. But
Yeah.
say it was successful would be an understatement. We did for our country, our Marine Corps, ourselves, something that has not been done since. Well, I don't know, but other answers for that. And lo and behold, this was not done with the permission of the Corps. I mean, we went down on our own, and that's right. So you're giggling. If one of your guys came along and whoa, we have boundaries, we have discipline here. You don't just, we have protocols. We were just two kids that went down to the studio, and they went like this, a little corny maybe, but sometimes corniness can be entertaining. We were a hit. And I've shared that with you. Later on, decades later, I would make this story in the form of a documentary. That in alone is a story unto itself. So we would go on base with our uniforms. We were on television. We were music studio stars. We were unbelievable. We were just on TV. There it is with the big band behind us. There we are doing the things that television and movie star people would normally do. And here we were doing it with the blessing of the Marine Corps. And we were doing it with without permission. I don't recommend this. Don't do this without permission. I mean, the general at any time, he could have said, look, yeah, maybe so, maybe not, but my goodness gracious, let us know what you're doing. Share with us. No, we didn't do that. So that said, we were like stars. One of the translators that was a Westerner translator for the general, till this day, I'm in contact with.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a touching thing. The word got out to upper division, no doubt, Sergeant Major. What the hell? My band officer, whoa, Andy, I don't know what you're doing, but those guys are great. They're doing good. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They, at any time, could have driven down and just cuffed us. They could have cuffed us. They could have grabbed us off the stage. They could have said, what the holy heck are you guys doing? And all they're doing is having fun. And if you notice our audience in the background, children, entertain children, entertain the community of which you are active in, you're a hit. Had we sang in English or been in any bar, oh my God, they would have hooked us, arrested. Get the hell out of here. Who you think you are going in there? Oh, we went in this contest. We won second place, not first. My God, John Reardon, who, you know, and his, look, we're never going to win this. What do you think? You're going to come here and go and speak a few words and you're going to win? They've seen our might with our weapons, our tanks, our skill, our military, and now they can't even win their own contest? Ridiculous. So second place, we accepted, and we won money. Oh, Christ, here we go with that. Money, always, if not handled managed properly, can be detrimental to one's security. So that said, we took the money, gave it back. Donation to an
Very
orphan.
nice.
That's when the press picked us up, gave us recognition, not so much for the talent, but for the donation, because the money that we had won legitimately, we gave back to the community. We left Okinawa. Before we left Okinawa, we were so honored. We went on stage for the first time in civilian clothes. I mean, it was hilarious.
Looking sharp.
They did a whole documentary of our presence on Okinawa, the history, the entertainment, this, I mean, one act after another. It was sentimental. It has been documented, and I have continued with that documentary and how we left. So we left Okinawa. The trio left Okinawa. But before leaving, there was one more bolt of lightning that hit. And remember the high school physical fitness. Remember those officers. Here it comes. I'm playing ball, right? I'm in training. I would sneak over the wall. We were at the new base in Camp Courtney, Tingan, Okinawa. We would go, I would sneak over the wall, Liberty time, and on a Saturday, play ball with only the officers. Only the officers. We're all in gear and everything was, yes, sir, no, sir, yeah, Lieutenant, Colonel, Captain. And here's E3 Durso, not even corporal yet. I'm playing ball, and of course, I'm a singles champion, yet to be 11th Naval District champion. And I am playing wonderful ball. An officer came up to me. You look familiar. Where are you from? New York. What is your name? Durso. By chance, would you be the guy? There was a physical fitness championship. Whoa, this guy whipped me up. Who the hell? And it was the major who gave me the trophy in high school.
No kidding. Wow.
What a connection. It was emotional. And of course, what did he do? And what did he say? When did you get your commission? I'll get back to you on that, Major. Just a second. Let me go over there and finish this game. I finished that game. I left those courts, went back over the wall, and it had. This is what I'm surprised he didn't go looking for me, was he wasn't going to find no Lieutenant Captain Durso. Oh my God. Not that he would have been, it probably would have covered me and thanked me. But what happened is it was a benchmark move. It was a benchmark decision. It was an awakening that this officer expected me to be a peer, when at the time I was not. I was not destined back in high school, as you may talk to some of your other story and people. My grades were non-existent. I was busy. I'm busy working on routines and martial arts and music. I didn't have time for no doggone Shakespeare. I mean, that said, you know, it was just hit me that this is what is expected of me. And it was then that I was destined to do my time, do my duty when others would decide to go on, comparable, complimentary, deserving. But I made my decision at that time that I had to return or go back to college full time. That officer hit me with, wow, never saw him again. He never tried to contact me again. Oh my God. What were you doing? No, so it was a wonderful benchmark experience. I took that with me to when we left Okinawa. The trio departed. Our third member, Michael Johnston, who was the the one we don't want to forget in the baby carriage. This is what we did. You saw the audience.
Okay. Yeah.
Michael Johnston went to Cherry Point to complete his time in the Marine Corps and went on to be an HR, human resources executive. And John Reardon got out of the Marine Corps and it was going to Syracuse University in New Jersey to come to California about 3-4 years later. I got him there. And myself, I went to MCRD. My gracious, the heaven of the Marine Corps. I mean, I'm going from one heaven to another heaven. My life in the Marine Corps, again, thank you, Jim. Bernie Farr was coming from Okinawa, who I'd worked with. Andy Olasak, a legendary, who would put you in jail rather than look at you if you had a crease in your knees. And I made a hero of him on Okinawa. He was coming back. I worked with Jim Donovan, who would go on to become the president's own drum major for the president's band in Washington, D.C. It was a wonderful experience. It was martial arts to the top of the food chain. I was on the all-Marine judo team. I was runner-up in my weight category for the whole Marine Corps, and later to represent them in inter-service competition. I was the combat instructor for the MCRD base, as well as inciting my own Marine band. I probably was the architect for combat Marine Corps training, which would later become part of the point system for Marine Corps being honored. And of course, I went on to just complete my tour there with a wonderful, wonderful finishing. But I did leave. Even when I left, it was like a ceremony. I was playing string bass. I had learned to play bass on Okinawa, Bernie Farr. So this was to be an asset for me from B flat in the field to bass in concert.
Yeah.
So
I like.
I was expanding my horizons and my military training to prepare me for the outside. So with that, I'm going to let you have a little break or a little something. I've been on a monologue here because it's difficult to come up for air. An experience be about the right timeline. Getting out is not getting away. It's not even really getting out. It's a transition and a separation that I would like my record and my followers and those who are contemplating transition. It's a hard decision. I commend those who hang in and stay in 10, 20, 25, and that's familiar to Andrew, and
Yeah,
30, they go on. And so this was I analyzed this very carefully. I had lots of time to think about it. We did not fly to Okinawa. We did not fly back to Okinawa. Everything was on a tugboat, a troop ship. I need time to audit your thinking and contemplate your mission statement in life. What is it you want to do? What is it you want to be? See, now my depth as an elder statesman can help and guide those who are contemplating these decisions, because I have to be accurate and say, sadly, we only have but one life. And sadly, we only have 100 years. Sadly, if we can make that. I'm working on it.
You're doing pretty good.
Hey, I'm in training. I'm still in boot camp. I never got out. Another story for another time. But oh yes, people say, what do you do? How do you do? What is your secret? I'll stop at the secret. There are no secrets. There is no silver bullet. Discipline, the spark of fire, and a lifestyle which for many didn't get off to a good turn. For many, they become sadly inoperative. They use an excuse, and it's called getting old. Don't go there. Don't do that with me. You're supposed to say getting better, improving. Why is it we spend so much money on a wine that's 50 years old? Jesus Christ, can't even drink it maybe. But yet, go to the auctions. Old cars. Oh my God. Well, we all paid for 1,000, 2,000, paid for is going now. Muscle cars. You don't want to get, you'll hang up, you'll faint. 50, 80, 100. I follow the market. Some people follow interest rates. Some people follow housing rates. Some people follow the deposits of treasury notes and exciting stocks. Follow everything. Follow, learn, continue, allow, and make yourself. Be angry with yourself. I tell many women, be selfish, be self-centered. Don't be irresponsible. Don't ignore. But there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself first. After that, yourself second. I'm not done yet. Yourself third. Because if you don't, sadly, if you have faith and confidence, you know, I'm not anti anything. I'm pro a lot of things. But our Lord Jesus Christ will not deposit money into your Bank of America account. He will give you faith. He will give you direction, inspiration, and a charge of change. Yes, follow that. I don't mess around with a man's faith or a woman's. You're going to lose. That's as bad as trying to mess around with a woman who has children. Watch out. You're going to lose. So with that said, yes, I had a hard decision, but it was clearly back in my story of Okinawa that I owed my community, myself, my destiny to go and accomplish and acquire information in the form of academic training, as we described, got to go to college.
Right.
No, not everybody has to go to. I don't want to get emails and challenges. I know the richest man in the world did not finish college. The second richest man in the world did not. The man who founded Apple didn't have time. Didn't have geniuses. Probably don't need. But people that are not genius and stupid people like I got to go to college. I mean, if I want to be what I want to be, or because we are a credentialed, academic, oriented society. Through the military, through civilian life, you don't have this, you can't get the ticket to get into that. So I learned that because of the military. When that officer back on Okinawa, when did you get your commission? Oh, God. Remember that story?
Yeah.
Yes. The destiny was made, but it was done, even that was done with a flair. We had fun. Marines are creative entertainers. I have here a document that humorously, to all who shall see these presents and greetings, know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of Paul James Durso, military ID number, and Michael Benson, I do appoint them civilians. What did I do? I was in 10 minutes. Your host was in for a quarter of a century. His party aptly should be and was a hell of a lot bigger than mine, which was just a fun thing that we did to escort or transition our people from the military. I mean, we even had a uniform, I mean, look, it's a fun thing. It's just a uniform.
Nice.
Yeah. We're having fun with hash marks going down to your knees and phony belongings. And people say, and even in the barracks, we're having fun. A little certificate, there I am getting out with my very good friend and legend that hopefully will become a podcast applicant, Joe Benishan, out of Lake Placid, New York today, who Bernie Farr described one of the best technicians on an alto tenor saxophone. Oh my God, and he was an athlete, a wrestler, a student of mine. He would get on top of me and grapple. We would go for the chokes. What a guy. Great guy. He's alive today. And finally, my departure was very proper and formal.
Nice.
You got your DD-214, which of course is not signed till 2 years later, because I am from the generation of 4 years plus 2. So I was disconnected in 4 years, but not honorably discharged 2 years later. Things were changing when I got out. I went in at a comfortable time, and I was fortunate through the grace of the power war gods. But Vietnam was hot and getting hotter. And it's May 65 when the brigade came in, and the general authorized us to stay back. Remember the trio? And it allowed me to finish our term. We stayed back and did community work. The general said, you can do a hell of a lot more staying back. What you going to do in Vietnam? Fix the problem, kill everybody? No. Which we as bands people better remember. We have a tape that I'm going to send to our hosts of our band POWs and people that were killed in World War II. I got that tape. And
wow.
And people need to be reminded, as one wise band officer once said to me, Paul, we are trained to do everything that they do. They cannot do what we do and did, which was the symbol of what we are as bandsmen. And with that said, here is my inspiration. Let this be. Find your inspiration, audience. Find the spark that feeds your will, that gives you inspiration to do whatever that is you need to do. Military, university, skill base, build something, go something, do something. I don't know what it is. Find something. I have already inducted people into Hall of Fames. Athletic Hall of Fames, Southern California Hall of Fames, United States National Handball Hall of Fames. I'm now on my tube, your tube, his tube. There's no more privacy here in the world. And I say to an audience, I don't give speeches. I don't dictate. I don't like to tell people what to do and how to live.
Yeah.
Although I do, but I shouldn't, but I do, but I don't, but I do. But I advise as a teacher who became a CCC. It's cryptic for a certified career counselor. So I advise people. I don't help you find a job. I advise you on how to build yourself, your credentials, your content of your character, so that you can find that niche that you want. And I've said this to my audiences that are looking for that secret in life. Not just longevity of life, but I will say drop the L in the word life and replace it with a W. Got it? I don't want to go too fast for you. Replace it. It helps. It helps. Find that. Now, this is Paul Durso. Now, I understand, and Josephine, I understand. This is not easy. I'm not going to say that's what you got to do to be. No. I'm saying if you can, that life and wife, it's interesting how they rhyme.
Very true.
Are good. Some can do this. And what's the percentage of those who cannot? I don't like to embarrass. 10%. Hey, don't guess. As a researcher and a graduate student, I've studied sociology, marriage and the family, part of my counseling and my training, post-Marine Corps. It hovers 48, 49, 50, 51% cannot.
No kidding.
It's sad. I wish I was wrong. You notice how I said it. 48, 49, it hovers. You got to watch, like the stock market. Then I have the Paul Durso scenario and my own hypothesis on this, that of those who claim to be doing it, sometimes are lying. And those who have failed at doing it, 15 to 20% of those try it again. So it's not a dictatorial of condemn. It's something to just stimulate, whether it's career, a partner. Some of these things are not easy to do. So I'm already explaining to you my post-Marine Corps Paul Durso, and that the music, which was inspired, which I'm trying to show, this is my father. It is not an E flat alto French horn. It is that, but it's more than that to me. This is the actual instrument that my father put in my hands as a little boy, 10 years old.
Wow.
That's awesome. Went all the way down to my knees. I was the smallest kid in the band blowing the biggest damn horn. And it was this ignition, this spark. You stick with this, we'll get your trumpet. And that led. So I didn't want to displace or downplay my music in the Marine Corps. After all, I went in as a Marine, a core valued discipline, fighting, warrior, martial arts, grunt. But thank you for my abilities. Thank you for my capabilities that I was able to expand on that. And I got into the field of music entertainment, of which I went to a faraway land and, as you heard in chapter 1, took over an island, not with a machine gun, not with a weapon, but with our ability. Find your niche.
I love it.
What sparks you. Find an interest. If you can't find it, find somebody to help you find it. I don't know. Call Andrew Cox. Call Paul Durso. Use the code words. Marine. Call. We will help you. Not dictate. But maybe we can find that little spark that'll help you in your next chapter of life. So mine went on as much as it did before the Marine Corps, believe it or not. Very military. I was up. I was in class. I never had a class after 10:30, 11. Oh, you crazy? I was in class 8 o'clock in the morning. I got out of the Marine Corps on September the 5th, 1966. 10 days later, I'm in a 4-unit physical geology course. Jesus Christ, this was full-time work. I mean, I'm challenged here. I am not, and my records proved it, the most intelligent student. Now, I balanced that. That's being politically polite. My grades were terrible. Now, intelligence versus smart. Be careful. Intelligent, I never was. Judgment and smart, yeah, I had that. That was a gift. I made sound decisions in my life and continued after. That is judgment. There are many intelligent people that do not have good judgment. Sadly.
Very true.
That includes murderers, robbers. Jesus Christ, they're highly intelligent. You think dumb people can break into a bank? What are you, crazy? I mean, can't do that. I mean, it takes, but their judgment. Sometimes, sadly, people who commit crime are highly intelligent, murderers. Sadly, their judgment went astray and their decisions are wrong. So we need to address that carefully. Now, mine was proven while I was an undergraduate. Thankfully, my counselors, I had not good, better than good. I went in to sign up for college. I was taking time off out of MCRD to register, and I didn't have an appointment. Damn, I drove all the way from San Diego up to Los Angeles, Cerritos, and Norwalk. And guy comes out, what are you doing here? Counselor. Where you work? Where you from? In the Marine Corps. What? Who? Shut the doors. I'll take him. Whoa!
Wow.
The thing. An Army veteran sensed it, picked me up, got me in. I played taps at his funeral. Got close with my teachers, and they advised me, they counseled me, because man, I was challenged. My grades were, whoa, we don't want to go on the bell-shaped curve, which I found out later. Hey, you want to see where you are on the bell-shaped curve? Christ, I wasn't even in the beginning. I was so bad. But I went to community college, and the discipline kicked in. The warrior fight kicked in. Got help, got tutors, I was in graduate school, and I'm getting ready to do a thesis. And I knew my strengths, I knew my weaknesses. So I walk in to the chair of my committee, and can you take a look at my draft? What are you doing here? You're not due for 4 months, 6 months. Well, let me see what no respect, graduate student. I thought I was in boot camp again. So here we are. Oh my God. And he started helping me, and I'd come back a couple of weeks. You again. Let me see that. And then I'd come back 3-4 times regarding the completion properly of my thesis. When it came time for my board of review and my committee, and the name Durso came up, he's clean. Get him. He's done. So I'll sign it right now. This is what you got to do when you're weak. Get stronger. This is what you got to do when you need help. Get help. Damn it. I learned that early. Now, my continuation of the martial arts just continued. I have a good friend that we trained together on Okinawa, Joe Louis, and most of the kids don't know. They think they get a little confused. There's an Louis, the brown bomber, and then there's my guy, Joe Louis. Pretty good. He was 185, 190. He was fast as me. We were kids together. We trained together. We were on Okinawa together. We studied. I am a descendant of Izo Shimabuku, and so is he. So when we got out, he went to Lejeune, and I went to MCRD. We kept in touch. Finally, the writing, telephone, I'm coming. Yo, what you going to do here? Coming for the movies. Whoa. Ooh. And the movies he did. My guy, Joe Louis, made a grand total of 1 movie. But my point is, we were tight. We were together. We came back, and it was Joe Louis and I who were together. That's Joe Louis. That's myself. We put on an exhibition at the Cerritos College. All the boys came to help me. And who are the boys? None other than Chuck Norris, Joe Louis, Mike Stone. Here we are having fun together as kids from left to right. Count off. Louis, Norris, Stone. Well, we supported each other. We were kids together. And when it came time, Joe said, I got to go up and talk to the Chinese guy, the guy that's on the TV, plays Green Hornet. His name is Bruce Lee.
Yep.
So I said, look, tell you what, you go and check on him and say hello for me. I got to go. I got homework to do. I'm in college. What do you think? I'm on vacation here, leave? I'm getting ready for graduate school. I'm being, I'm dumb to begin with. The martial arts, you and I can do. Go up there and say hello and send him my respect. Now, we weren't that close with him because Mr. Lee chose not to engage himself in actual tournament play. Not a negative. He was great athlete. Not good. Better than good. And he was great with the choreography in the movies, but athletically trained. He did some nice stuff. So Joe went up and blah, blah, blah. Years later, my wife, Josephine, says, you mean to tell me that you were invited to go to... Yep. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you could... Yep. Any other questions you got? till this day, am I sorry that I didn't go up to see? You're damn right. Because I know we would have hit it off. I know all the guys, not all, a lot of them that he was taking into the movie as part of the routine. Bob Wall, Enter the Dragon, the guy with the beard and the scar, who he back kicked, sent him right down over the cliff. He was an understudy of myself. I mean, we were just all together. I mean, this is who we were. This is what we are. This is what we did. I'm the Los Angeles Open heavyweight champion. And it was a tournament that Joe and I went in. And I said to Joe, what you going to do? Me and you were going to go. What are we going to do? I'll fix the seed. I'll be first seeded and you be on the bottom. Okay. Okay. So, and that's what happened. And so what happened is it gets to the quarterfinals, and Joe was dealing with a guy by the name of, I don't know if you can remember, there was a guy, remember Elton John when he sang, Van and there's a vum, 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 rum. Benny the Jet became world champion. Benny the Jet was there that day, hanging on to my goddamn gi, little kid. I get lost. And I ran into him years later at an airport, tapped me on the shoulder. Respect, nice kid, clean, small. He's like a dynamite. His older brother was Arnold. His older brother caught Joe in the semifinals. Caught him in the semifinals, and that knocked Joe out, which means I had to fight Arnold for the title, heavyweight title. I'm a lightweight fighting a heavy. So here I am with Arnold, and that's, if you notice who's the referee, checking my shit out already, that's Chuck Norris. And I'm knocking Arnold into the next arena. Got a little lucky, caught him going back. So I am the, here we are at the Trophy Awards. That's with Arnold and first place trophy of Los Angeles. But you see, I did not continue to compete as much like Joe Louis. It was a matter of, I'm in college. It's a problem. Getting on a plane, I got to go around and move around, and I just didn't do it. So, but I continued my training through life. I got in the construction business, having fun. They would use tools. I would use my hands. So, you know,
I love it.
Yeah, fun. So that said, I continued. I got into a master's degree, and I become a graduate, which is a master's in public administration. I am credentialed in affairs of government, and I took my degree and talents into municipal government. And I was in the municipal management, municipal manpower. I ran cities. I helped run cities. I was never the city manager, assistant. About 8 years, almost 10.
Where was that at?
A number of cities. I started in Rosemead. I went to Norwalk, El Monte, and Ontario. I was the assistant in Bellflower, California. All Southern California, contract cities. Good question, because many cities are very complicated. But in Southern California, they retain one manager to run everything. Then they contract for police, fire, building, public works, community, recreation. Some have it, some don't. So that's why my experience is broadened, because I worked at 4 or 5 cities. But you know, like the Marine Corps, you hit crossroads in life, and I am working in government at the public sector level, and I knew there was another side called the for-profit. There's the non-profit and then the for-profit. If you are government, you are non-for-profit. Whether you are in government, security, administrative, management, military, you know, general, you're working, you get your pay, and you retire, and you're handled properly. Military is great. We should get a second chance. Well, I was destined to I think I was gifted and destined and talented to make a lot of money. So I decided to switch, and I got out of the public sector and I went private. I went private entrepreneurship. I was retail. I was manufactured. I was in what they call the business of fun, called gold and diamond. Look at all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was in retail. I was in wholesale, and there's the factory in the back. It's hard in jewelry to have trusted employees. So you see who the trusted employee is? Your wife.
I see your wife there.
I'm like, she was a big hell. What a story she is. You're right. What a get running classes, teaching 6, 7, helping a husband, and oh, I don't know how we didn't snap and go nuts. So I did that for many years, and then I transitioned to I got a second master's degree in career counseling, and I went on that way to be more independent. I proceeded to contemplate certain founding. I would work with venture capital people in the founding of companies to help them, advise them, and find them the talent. Remember, I'm a manpower specialist. And
Right.
with that, my hope and dream was to eventually acquire stock, be part of a for public company that goes and explodes. I was not as successful as I had hoped. Am I coming into a different chapter of my life, and I look back? Fortunately, there's no regrets. I've done all that I could do. I'm not done yet. I'm still in training. Ask me the last time that I played ball.
Had to have been yesterday.
This morning.
Oh, this morning.
That's correct. I got no time to waste. My training is more important than this interview, because not disrespect to you or the business, but it can hold and wait. My training cannot. Now that's a discipline. Now, when you have a wife and children, all your priorities will get twisted and challenged. And you have a Marine Corps that you went, oh, I'm going to tell you how fast your priorities are going to work. Right. So that alters and changes as we mature. So I continue to do things, and my music has calmed down a little bit. It's mostly private. I play for myself. My horn, as a secret, is never put away. First mistake. Put the sticks away, put the horn away, put the mace away. You're done. You think you're going to go to the closet? No. My horn is in front of my fireplace. While my wife is cooking, I'll pick it up. Give me that scale, like the band officer said. Give me a chromatic. And I play. I don't go to bands and read anymore. I can't goddamn see. I got one here. I got one here. I'm lucky I can play ball and still see the ball. So the music is still there, but not like it was. The martial arts still continues, but in a different format. I've become an elder and a motivational speaker to help, inspire, teach. Yes, I can. My wife is the real full professor of English and comparative literature. I am definitely a teacher, but by credential, not by profession. I chose not to do that. Teachers don't make money. So that's why I decided let my wife be the teacher. Whoa. And I'll make the millions. Don't work like that. Be careful what you sometimes aim for, but aim high. So with that said, it's been a wonderful experience. And I think I'll close out by just sharing. I have my my resume that I have a lot of fun with. It's my resume. And of course,
this is awesome. I love this.
Well, you got a sneak preview. You know too much. This is the resume that when I attend a military function, or I'm asked to maybe speak at veterans, I'm active with that. I like to go in the uniform that is complimentary and helps other veterans that can identify. This is my sort of resume with my mom, my sister, and the figure of a handball player. The buttons that my mother wore, my community, because I was in city management, my Red Cross, and my university degree, my patch from my sensei of my teacher on Okinawa, who just recently passed away. I'm still in mourning. My second Marine Division activity, my FMF pack continuation, my Hall of Fame. I'm in many martial arts Hall of Fames. Don't have time to tell you all that stuff. Oh, of course, MCRD at the top of the food chain there. And my Marine Corps Musicians Association, which in closing, I like to emphasize and accent in just a second. My United States Marine Corps never retired because you never retire. You might. You don't retire. You transition, you pass on. Of course, I am a Vietnam veteran. I am 2nd, 3rd Marine Division, Drum and Bugle Corps. I'm a 100-miler, Western States 100-miler, and my marshal, how about that? And on that business of Vietnam, I was asked one time, you were in the band. Did you see any dirt in action in Vietnam? While I was at MCRD, it's all part of the closing, I went into the band officer, Andy, always rehearsing. Yeah, Durso, come on in. Oh, I always had his respect. Geez, what I did for him on Okinawa. And I went in and I said, Gunner, I got some leave on the books. I'd like to take my leave, and instead of going home, what normal people do, girlfriend, wife, home, I had time for that later. I want to go to Okinawa. I want to go on Liberty, visit for about a month. Month? Yeah, go ahead, Doris. I'll make your plans. He was so good. Anybody else, he would have said, are you crazy? Get out of here. No. Andy was so good. And I had to contact Headquarters Marine Corps. What do you think? You're just going to go, this ain't Okinawa where you go down to the TV studio. So I got permission from Headquarters Marine Corps to leave the intercontinental limits of the United States of America to go to Okinawa. For what? Well, I wanted to go to Okinawa. I mean, for what? I was a star there. My teacher's there. So I went back to study, and I went back. It was wonderful. I walked in, the first thing, Durso no die. Die? What do you mean die? I'm here. Everybody on Okinawa, there was a rumor that the trio got shot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I contacted my friend John and where was he at that time? He was in Jersey still. And I said, hey, we got killed. Goddamn John, without missing a beat. How did we die? I don't know. We got shot. You got shot. I got shot. We got shot. It was a rumor. Never published because they couldn't, find it. Anyway, that was cleared up. And it was cleared up over the air. I was on radio and TV again. And the trio is alive. They're well. They're here. And I studied with my teacher. I lived with him. I was raised to 3rd Dan. I mean, to be a black belt at that time in America was top of the food chain. And I'm a senior Dan. So, and I came back. On the way back, I had to go through Vietnam. I stopped at the division. I saw the boys. Right away, they all congratulated me because I was shipping over. Whoa. I'm not shipping over. No. What are you doing here? You're shipped over. They couldn't get it through their head that I'm here on vacation. It was hilarious. But I saw so many guys I knew, and it was a lot of fun. On the way out, everything at Da Nang was grounded. Everybody was grounded. There was an attack. There were snipers shooting at the planes, at the rotors, at everything. Oh, God, I ain't never getting out of here. I'm in Vietnam now. Oh, man. So lo and behold, there was a full bird colonel who was the pilot of a C-130, and he had to get out. They had equipment. So he had rank, he had permission. So help me, they were shooting at us on the way out.
Wow.
Till this day, man, you don't know how life could have been, would have been, if that could have pierced a tank, an explosion. It's like me. I'm going to Cuba. I'll be on the first wave, but they fixed it. But we got in the air and I got out. So, am I a victim? Did I see, hey, I was shot at. I'm in the
Yeah.
band. We got shot at. So it was a nice thing. But I leave you with the thought of sharing the story that not everything has to be with sadness, that everybody has to earn a Congressional Medal of Honor, can't do that, that not everybody has to earn a Purple Heart to gain respect, that there are things that you can do in your life that are productive if you maintain that discipline and follow through and sometimes get angry, you can do it. I leave you with that. And I thank you for this opportunity to exchange with you. And I just leave you with the best and the hope that you can share this wonderful message and to share it with others.
Oh, we're definitely going to share it for sure. Hey, I got a couple questions for you. So if you look back on all of your experiences through life, and you were going to give advice to a young individual coming in, going into the military, getting ready to do their career, what type of advice would you give those guys?
Stop in the name of preparation. If you are not prepared, if you do not overhaul your thoughts, and if you do not seek advice, you could be destined for some problems. Yes, I think that's a wonderful question because it is not practiced, it is not adhered to. Most of us stroll through life blind, and sometimes they hit jackpots. Some of the richest people in the world are not necessarily the smartest or the best, but the luckiest. So I would advise to seriously seek today the offerings. Let's stick to our main interest of military, the introductory, the videos that are accessible. When you go to MCRD, you can go into their archive room and see the whole boot camp before you get into boot camp. This may not be for you. Don't do what maybe you shouldn't do. And stop being a follower. Be yourself, you become a leader. I advise that in many of my classes where I am instructed to motivate. Now, for the veteran, it's a different kind of a spin because he's getting a different shot. He's building on what he's already built. And boy, does he got a lot to build on. Yes. So you want to be able to transition that, and they don't know how. That's why my certification and my specialty because that transition between active military and actual live active civilian, that bridge is made of paper and wood. The Marine Corps tries. They have counseling, they have computers. And the civilian world, they're in the blind. Huh? Oh, a veteran. I mean, when I got out of college, you're what? A veteran? Woo! They wanted me to speak in college because of the violence and the corruption and the protesting to the Vietnam War.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have that today. Today, what do? They're thanking me for my service. In the beginning, some of us were talking to each other. How are you handling this? I don't know. I don't pay attention. And how are you handling? Shit, where were they 30 years ago? No. And I'm handling them with, I got to come up with some politeness. There has been a reverse. This all has to do with the decision of what to do with your life, military. It's a long answer. It's a short question. It's not a direct no, yes. It's important to know this and that your attitude in understanding transition and that populations change, revisit. Look at this guy called the H that stands for Hitler, that stands for hell. How did he get that population? I don't mean a guy or two or three, that was one of the best speakers, sadly, in the wrong way, of the 20th century, Zig Heil. And here we are, we're still screwed up with shit. So I would tell a young man, a young lady to definitely seek advice and go into themselves and don't come out until you have solidness. Testing, we have tests today. The recruiting process is much more improved than it was. I've helped many. I hired police and fire while I was in government with city. I hired police and fire. I didn't hire them. I was the first step to their next step. And of course, the testing has become so sophisticated that they can pick up stuff that they would not recommend because it's an investment. How much does the Marine Corps spend today to train a recruit? I lost track.
It's a lot. I know
A
that.
lot. Leave it that.
But so along the kind of the same lines, you've worked with a lot of veterans as they're getting out and moving on into careers and stuff. What advice would you give service members that are currently active and they're getting ready to do that transition? What types of things would you say to them?
Not bad. Prepare for your transition before you transition. A lot of ways. Speak on the inside. Speak to military officers. Speak on the outside. You need that outside ear. Will you be confused? Damn right you'll be confused. But that's okay. You're now much more mature than you were coming in. Now, there's a different kind of counseling between the entry-level exit military, one hitch, and the retired military. Different strategy, different answers. They need to understand full well who they are, where they are, what is their mission statement, and do they have an actual plan? If they don't, that's part of the counseling. Not to dictate, got to be careful. You lose a lot of people. Don't tell me what to, whoa, okay, got it. The Marine Corps told me enough. Ain't telling me no more. What? Whoa, I got it. So you have to be sensitive, polite, respectful. But like I say, there are two avenues. One, the initial one getting out because he's still young and he will entertain. Like when I got out and I got done with college, I checked out with my people and veterans. Yo, you want to see where you are on the bell-shaped curve again? You went from, as I said before, nothing. Whoa, you're way over graduate school. And he said, hey, there's money here. I said, excuse me? I thought it was over. No. So after college, I worked for 2 years in finance leasing, equipment, automobile, but I was still single. That's a big, important thing. And the spark and the energy and the encouragement from good counseling, I went back to graduate school, then got my master's degree. And I went back full time. Don't fool around with education. Work, education, family. Guys mess up. Girls mess up. Doesn't matter. So my advice would be very careful to continue counseling, but audit and inventory your brains. They don't know how to do that. It's tough. Need a little help.
I like that. I want to transition just a little bit and ask you something a little off topic, but you had talked about it earlier, and you talked about life and wife, and you gave us some percentages, right? So give our listeners some advice, because you've been married for a little while now. Give us some advice on relationship and what you see as being beneficial in that relationship, and being having a good relationship throughout.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Now, I'm going to be careful with that answer, because followers who are sophisticated with degrees in education, he's not certified, and I'm not. I'm educated. I'm old, practiced, and what has worked for me in life, which changed the L to W and wife, works for me, and I'm successful at that. Now, I can share in that success, yes, but I'm very careful, cautious, and delicate in how I profess that, because I am not a marriage and counsel certified counselor. Well, but you're a counselor. CCC, certified career. My specialty and my niche is to make you money. No, my certification is to help you in your career, which advances you to make money. Now, the marriage thing, that's a little personal. Yes, I have had marriage in the council courses. Yes, I have been trained and I've been sophisticated. And yes, I try to keep my reading up because counseling is like law. Oh, you're a lawyer. That tells me nothing because I need to know you're a member of the bar. Got it. Now, what are you? Divorce, litigation, civil, immigration. It's like a doctor. What? That tells me nothing. Are you orthopedic? Are you a spine specialist? Are you cardiologist? Are you into blah, 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 blah. The same thing with counseling. So I'm a little careful and I'll be humble at my advice. For Paul Durso, whoa, yes, I can defend that. Jesus, God, I got experienced. I got lucky. The statistics, again, to those researchers, the longer that you can hold off, you will tend to succeed better. It doesn't mean that all kids who marry fail. Oh, I'll get letters. I'll get emails. I'll show you. And I guess you will show me. But sociologists will engage you and say that the younger you are, the vulnerability of adjustment, the vulnerability of transition becomes a high risk factor. When you're kids and you can grow together in a marriage, whoa, that's pretty good. But normally when you are youthful, because kids come in different forms. I know 40-year-old kids. But when you're young and you're married and you grow and you transition and you get educated, oh, whoa, you see my fingers? Whoa, whoa, whoa. All of a sudden, 10, 12, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? So I think the best advice is to grow together, live together, learn together, play together, discuss together, argue together, and have a negotiating process and understanding. Now that takes sophistication. Sometimes you need help with that. It's called marriage counseling. So your question was pinpointed, immediate, and my answer, as you can hear, because it's a very touchy, delicate subject. So I hope that that answer hits certain people certain ways and that mine is in a certain area. Now, for me, again, back to me, oh, God, you grow together, you almost become one. God, is that good? Is that healthy? For some, yeah. For some, no. I got a whole theory on man itself by our DNA. Monogamy is not in our genetic code. By society, somebody set up a bunch of rules. You're a cheater. I ain't going to comment on that on the grounds that I can't comment on it. But I understand science, and I'm a man of science. I'm a man of faith too, but that faith is based on empirical studies and science. So I guess if you were to call me a religious, strickle fundamentalist, and yet the impressions left on my religion, I can still remember who was my first DI after my mother. Who was my second DI? It was nuns. The discipline that I got from them, I can still chant, like from the DI, Cuba, Cuba, here we come. The nuns, I can still do my objective prepositions in English in alphabetical order. About, above, across, between, beyond, by, down, doing, except, for, from, in, into, near, under, up, and with. Are you getting the message here? Get that impression early, stick with it, and you can be successful. I'm so sorry for those, and there are, what's the stats? Not good. We have been to the moon and back. Hallelujah. We just got there the other day privately. We got to the moon and back 50 years ago, and we cannot solve the riddle of successful marriage. I have to end it that way. It's a sad note. We have a lot of work to do. We have the tools to do it, but we can't. I mean, that's not a good statistic. 48, I don't give a shit what 47, terrible. But like I said, there is hope. Those who divorce, 10, 15% of them will try it again. But what's sadder is that even the 50%, those are married, that's not healthy. and children pick. See, it's a whole delivery. It's a whole thing coming out of me. So I apologize for a lengthy answer, but it deserves depth. Don't think it, yeah, no, do this, do that, read this book. Listen to the podcast again, and maybe something fits you and something fits your friend or your brother, and you can help them in that way.
Yeah, this is a good answer. I like that. All right, I got one more question for you, and it talks about veterans specifically. And I've talked about it in the past on podcasts, but keeping a connection, right, with your veteran friends, and you obviously do that very well. And we talk about different organizations that you can get in, the VFW, there's the American Legion. And then for you and me, there's the Marine Corps Musicians Association, which I know you're very, very big into as well. But what is, in your mind, the importance of kind of becoming part of those organizations? And what do you see there?
I can't wait to get to that damn answer. Jesus Christ, you gave 4 years of your life to your country, to your culture. You go 4 years in college, you make friends, fraternities, college buddies, fraternities, fraternity sisters. You go 4 years in the military, and I tell this every time I go to a base to show the documentary. Look at the guy next to you and on the right. Now, it's a little easier now. Internet, emails, communications. Don't lose contact. It is a part and a chapter of your life. How can you just let it go? And they do. Now they got reasons. I ain't going to get into those reasons. The damn answer will go on forever. Some are pissed off. Some are hurt. Some are damaged. You need to get them on the podcast. I'm opening them up. But Jesus, and you're right. The veterans of this and that. I enjoy so much going to now this is personal, between this guest and this host, that you and I, look how we are connected. We are North Pole, South Pole. You're in the North Pole. I'm on the South Pole. You're just finished the Marine Corps. Jesus Christ, my life has never been out of the Marine Corps. How can you avoid it? So I got out of the Marine Corps, and I'm hanging out with Bernie Farr, my former band master. He happened to live down the block from my house. I'm still helping him, doggone, open up the jazz festival in Orange County on the base, but one of his guys didn't show up. And I said, Bernie, where you going? Oh, I'm going to a reunion. Reunion? Where? What? Oh, we get together. We just started something, the band. Oh, geez, I feel left out. I want to go too. And I was just joking with him. Yeah, come on. So I went with him, and he was sick. He was in a wheelchair. I went and I had so much fun. And I connected, not with guys I served. That's another illusion. Look at Andrew Cox and Paul Durso, North Pole, South Pole. But we have a connection, like Lieutenant Colonel Clyde Croswell said, a legend, bandmaster, Lieutenant Colonel. He was one of our guest speakers. Some things never change. That 3rd Marine Expedition there on your back is the 3rd Marine Division. I don't care what they call it. That's my house. I've been there. The belt that you wear today, the stick, the mace, the music is still ching with. Oh my God. I don't understand, and this is a little bit of a criticism, and I'll get heat on it. I don't understand how my fellow Marines are not joining organizations of their own, whether it's band, drill instructors have their own, recruiters have their own, guys on ships, 1st Marine Division, I go to them sometimes. You connect with something that was a part of your life. Are you just disconnecting that and forgetting that? It's a long, drawn-out answer. But God's sakes, and some guys, they go to a reunion. Oh, do I got to go again next? You don't have to even go the first time. We're not selling anything here. And then when they come and they connect with somebody that they served with, we are all part of that enjoyment. It's a nugget of gold, and it's a lot of fun. And then I go and I see the people that I never served with. They've been to my house. Lou Curtis, Don Versailles became my military Marine Corps heroes. Outside of my own brother, Bill Miller, except I had no damn heroes. These guys became the hero through the organization that you join, no matter what it is. So I emphasize that. I don't know. I think I try to do the research and the study of it and come up with an intelligent answer. I believe there's a genetic code here, not physical, but emotional and mental. It's called the sentimental gene. Not everybody has it.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm a sentimental fool. Look at these pictures I'm showing you. You're going to talk to people who have the pictures, but maybe they're just too lazy to show you. But I show it for credibility, not to brag. I show it to show people because the picture will speak 1,000 words. It's not about breaking bricks. It's about discipline. And I take that in other areas that when you get together at a reunion, how many people have high school reunions and go? How many people have high school reunions and don't go? Can't go. They're in war. Hey, there's legitimate excuses. But I love the camaraderie. And yes, you're right. I got heavily involved. The boys recruited me because of a lot of reasons, my experience, my civilian experiences that come in. I help. It's a lot of fun, but yet not everybody. I mean, with all our internet connections, they're not searching, they're not looking, and then when they come, oh, I thought I'd see somebody here I served. No, it don't work like that. I never served with Andrew Cox. I can't wait to see the guy at the next reunion if he can make it. Amen.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fantastic answer. I I think that's an incredibly important thing for veterans to be able to do is to have that connection with fellow veterans. And like you said, you don't have to serve with the individual. Just go to a reunion, go to something, and become a part of what you knew at one point in time, and continue that on. I think that's fantastic
You are
advice.
correct. There was a time we didn't have it. So you didn't exit the Marine Corps with an avenue and a place to go. That's why I like to go to active duty Marines today. And I've been invited by a recently promoted CWO, Eric uh, Kine, Kyn, and he's invited me in January, and here it is March, and I'm talking to you. I'll get him because those Marines need a home for their future and to know about it. Some people join, and we don't solicit. We don't go, hey, why aren't you? Hey, don't come. I mean, what are you going to come to something you don't want to come to? Maybe you got a problem. Maybe somebody got you mad, and that's happened. Oh, Jason, we've had a lot of fun with that. But at least, yes, there is now because NCMA started just through conversation. A few guys sitting around having a brew, and they went public. They went this, but then they said only for the retired. They dropped that in a year, and so a lot of fun. It's a wonderful, not just band. All the fields seek out. They don't do it. They won't do it. They don't want to do it. They don't know how to do it. I think socially there needs to be some kind of emotional therapy to encourage those. All right, so you don't want to go every year. I love to. I mean, I gave a part of my soul, life, to the military, government. And years later, I'm still enjoying it. People think, oh, were you in 30 years? Oh, I thought 25. No. I call it metaphorically 10 minutes plus 2 compared to the likeness of you. So no, I'm very at home with the career Marine. I'm very at home with the leadership. I've enjoyed it and continue to enjoy it. And now we join forces. We have something new for listeners that might be picking up. The active duty Marines have invited and have allowed the former active duty Marines to join forces and have one ball, not organizational, just a banquet, so that we attend and we can observe and be invited because we did what they are currently doing. One that we just had one, the first one. The last 2, 3 got bumped because of the pandemic. We just had our first, and now I hear the East Coast is contemplating a little trying to get together. I see your head shaking. Not easy. You got Cherry Point, you got Lejeune, almost back to back, but then it gets a little tricky. Quantico, and who else is left? There's
The School of Music might be a part of it too.
But,
Yeah.
right. But the fact that it's in the conversation is enlightenment, so that we do not let go of what we once did. It's a wonderful experience. I have a lot of fun when we go. The MCMA members play in the band with the active duty. It's a lot of fun. Not me, I go play ball, but with who? Marines. So I enjoy it the way
And
I
you kick their
enjoy it.
butt while you're doing it too.
Oh, well, we try to Chris DeBow. We're still, give me your best, because I have a lot of, it's respect. They see someone senior, they see someone old. So anyway, yeah, we do. Joe, you can join
Well,
me.
I see your beautiful bride back
Yeah,
there. How are you doing?
Exhausted. No, we don't get exhausted. You get exhausted. We're paid not to get exhausted. We don't get exhausted out there. Stick with your guns. Find your niche. Remember, life, the W can help. If you have a problem with it, yes, it's not easy. I got lucky. Joe, may God bless you. You're on for all to see and share. This is an asset. It's been a wonderful person, a professor of English, and compared to, I was so bad in college, I couldn't write the crap. Couldn't write the professor. She'd redline me. She'll look at the newspaper and redline the newspaper if they make a mistake. So thank you for joining us, because I know the clock is running on Andrew's interview here, but when
you're
something's good, it's hard to cut it off. But your questions hold substance and value, not a joke.
Thank you. Well, Joe, hey, I'll ask you one of the same questions I asked him. What advice do you give people when it comes to marriage and stuff like that? What's your secret to success?
Whoa! You hear what he's asking you? Did you hear?
How have you put up with Paul this whole time?
Whoa, Joe! You need to tell Master Gunnery Sergeant retired and his audience. He wants to know how in the holy heck hell you can tolerate, because we get asked this quite often. You don't have a patent on this. So you need to cut to the chase here. Tell him what kind of a man I am.
He's best.
Whoa! Hey, Joe, you're going to say it to the audience, or you're whispering it in my ear?
Though I fight with him occasionally, mostly we have the same things. But marriage, that's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You better come up with better information than that as a professor of literature. Crapshoots are good for the crap tables. In marriage, I have a different delivery here. I mean, Josephine is good. When you get in her classroom, oh, God forbid, to the right of God, she is, I've been told, and I've read her evaluations, and I've helped out in her grading in the later years, because I'm a teacher too. But I don't like that word, Joe, with all due respect. Yes, there's a lot of fortune, but you can cut down on your losses. Do not look at it as a crapshoot. You need to study. He's asking a question that's out of our certification.
There isn't any order.
Well, but it's not out
You're
of
lucky or you're not lucky?
Well, yeah, but you got to. Oh, here we go. You've got to increase your fortune, and you can with good. What did I say in your other question? Preparation, research, study. The parents.
You also said that you have to be able to compromise. You have to be able to have agreements, right, and be able to come together on those and compromise together. So there's that too.
Those are fundamental blocks. Hey,
we maintain our own freedom from each other.
Yeah, but he didn't ask that. She has a hearing. She don't hear the question.
I do have a hearing problem.
Yeah. But you are correct and accurate with your statement. But those things are building blocks. They need to already have been there. That's why marriage is supposedly for the big M in marriage stands for maturity.
Ooh, that's good.
It's a heavy one. Yes, because now you can have it at 18. I'm sorry. there are people married at 18, the childhood sweethearts. And what do I say? They grew together, but they stayed together and they become one. But you could be 35, 40 if you do not maintain, conquer, understand the level of maturity of a potential mate. Yeah, it's hard afterward. So I do believe in not long engagements, not long anything, but maturity and again, judgment. Intelligence is a help, but intelligent people don't make the best decisions. Oh, I married my wife. She's so intelligent, but is she smart? God, you don't know. So you have to study that. So it's a
Well,
very good question. And I think it's military connected with your audience because in the military, we are geared from inception of boot camp. That is the new, right? There are people from Tennessee and Kentucky who never wore a pair of shoes. But man, shoot that rifle. Whereas me, I came in with discipline, but I never shot a weapon. I didn't hit expert till the following year. It ain't easy, squeeze, boom. So we come in with different talents, let alone anyone from Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma, every time that wind comes down and the snooze ahead of Joe and the sun comes right behind the whale. Take it, Andrew. Oh, what out do you think he's from, Joe? He ain't from. This is a Norman, Oklahoma. This is the real deal. This is what America is built on, the likes and the standards of mid-America, Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, Oklahoma. You're great. You're a real deal.
Hey, I will tell you, I must be one of the exceptions to some of it. So my wife and I met her when I was in the 6th grade, and I came home and told my mom, I was like, I'm going to marry that girl. And it took us a long time before she agreed to date me. She was a senior in high school, getting ready to graduate. We started dating. I was 2 years behind her in school. When I graduated, I was 18. We got married. We've been married ever since. So, and I always say I've been married to my wife longer than I was married to the Corps.
Yeah. Okay. And I have to tell you, not to discourage, but to encourage those who have that good fortune. That is, the percentages are not on your side.
Yeah, very true.
But for you, look, so that's why I say this question is very explosive. You and I will both get, well, I'll tell you, I think you're crazy, man. You are exception and a gift. And it's, look, I got to tell you mine too. I did not have the support. And I'll tell you why in one sentence. When I tell you, Jesus, you're going to open up 5 more questions. This lady, before I married her, was already a mother with more children than are on that screen. Now you think about that. So I'm a man who stepped in when another man, for whatever reasons, sometimes death, sometimes sickness, sometimes sadness, steps away. So my title is admirably stepfather. I don't worry about the father too much. I don't worry about that. But later on, I didn't calculate my gift that I received from Josephine. I am, I wish I could show you, Grandpa. I am that. Yeah. But, my wife's children, you have to be respectful and merciful. They were not babies. Half of them were, and half of them weren't. So that's another kind of a story that when you look at Josephine, my family looked at me. Because
Sicilian.
I was a very
Sicilian only one.
Yeah, well, I'm a very special person in that I'm my father's only son, and that I was considered by life and society and social standings a cherry because I was never married. And by society, right. I mean, in practice, let's not go there. But in social standing, I was clean. I came to the marriage with credentials, education, cleanliness, and no luggage.
Yeah.
But look what I married. And I would say to her, lucky, this is part of the answer. Lucky day she met me that, she was given a gift. But wait a minute, let me finish that answer. Years later, that got reversed. I now look at Josephine and I reverse that statement and say, lucky day I met her.
Man, that's good. And I got to be honest, I don't know if we can end it any better than that right there. That was just perfect.
Well, we're not ending it. We're going to put a halt. We're
There
going
you
to
go.
stop it. Paul and Joe are not about to end. Our children, that's another joke. We don't have children. Our children are grandparents. Think about that. It'll make your head spin. And we are entering not a new, but a refresh chapter. And we have a lot to say because we're elders, and we're still saying it. See, you're wise to get this type of a candidate and bring in the partner simultaneously. So you have a special, diverse kind of audience instead of and I'm not making fun at those who cannot speak or express, and maybe there's reasons for that, and that's excusable. This is a form of research, but it's a form of entertainment. The horn, the pictures, the this, the that. So I hope that it is a plus and an enjoyment to your future. You might want to recommend this because there are people, and that list is going to get long. So there are some people you'll recommend over more than others that should be, if for not any other reason, maybe they're just old, they know something. But you have brought in a sort of a sauté of questioning here that is good and healthy for both the veteran and the post-veteran and those contemplating major decisions in life, be they career or marriage. It's a heavy one, but I hope that I've answered it as safely, properly, and within the perimeters of my certification. I have to be very careful so that I do not hurt, damage, or be challenged by peers or press, as we're always being called upon on what you said what? Oh, God, because you cannot have a good answer for everyone.
True. Yeah.
So,
well, hey, Paul, Joe, thank you guys for coming on. Joe, especially letting him come on and talk to me for a little while, and I appreciate you coming on and saying hi to us as well. But it's been a fantastic. I loved hearing all about your story. And when at the very beginning, I said the legend, my friend, you are the legend, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your manners, your accolades. And always remember, a legend is only sometimes in his own mind. I have a lot of work to do. I'm not done. Maintaining a reputation is not easy. I don't like to sit back and live off of my laurels. As you know, the last time I played ball, now you should be asking, when will I be playing ball again?
I'm betting it's going to be tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
If you bet, you will win.
I should go to Vegas right now.
They don't put people like me in Vegas. No, the odds with me is whether we're breathing or not. If you give Vegas my statistics, their odds will be regarding life and death. But I am setting a different standard. I realize that. My doctors want to put me on a road show. If for any reason, let's see, I can stand up and maybe not give you a full view, but anyway, name the joint in my body, and it has been redone, replaced, fixed, because I lived a life of an athlete. I'm a double hip arthroplastic recipient, 2 new hips. I'm RoboCop. Only all my steel is where you cannot see it. When the airlines started their security, oh my God, I'd have 4 people come over. And look at me, I had my hair a little darker. I had my military Marine Corps pin on. Guys, what the hell are you doing? What are you carrying? They're checking my crotch for this. Because I had all steel in my body. And I've had two shoulders not replaced, restructured, bones taken out of here from playing handball with a damn little ball. I'm a martial artist. I'm a gymnast. My back, I can't do handstands anymore. That pisses me off. But yes, I have been given a second chance as an athlete, and thank you for the technology. I want to thank Jesus, but he don't do the surgery. So, but I thank the faith given to the orthopedic specialists, the clinical community, the research, and I have been to the future. You know, I told you in the beginning, I'm going to take you on a cruise. I'm going to take you on a journey. We're going to go back. But I have already been to the future. Not a joke. They make a movie about it. I live the life. And how do I do that in closing? I go to the Consumer Electronics Show every year. That is part of my mantra to maintain my status with my humanity. The Consumer Electronics Show is strictly for scientists, engineers, and it's everything around you. This computer, I have talked to more robots in the last show. Artificial intelligence, don't get me started on that. But I'm a futurist. Now, the future is relatively what's coming out in the spring, the fall, next year. So I have been to the future, your future, and you tell your audience is looking good and healthy. Oh, how do I know that? Contact Paul Durso, because he went to the future. How did he do that? Consumer Electronics Show. Will I be there next year? Yes, that's what I do. And then the other one is the NAMM show. I go every year to the NAMM show. I think I called Andrew Cox from the floor of the NAMM show because why?
Yeah.
The Marines were there, long overdue. I spoke to the gunny who's being picked up for EA, forgot his name, 1st Marine Division, and he was there and dressed blues. We talked, we had fun. Oh, the NAMM show. That should be an assignment for every artist, Marine. Guy picks up a trumpet, starts playing. Another guy comes over with a slide trombone. They got in a jam session right in the middle of the floor. Fantastic. So what's the answer to this? I'm trying to tell your audience, live life, don't give up, don't pay attention to some of our veterans that maybe have reasons for depression, anxiety. They're lost. Maybe they have a legitimate reason, going through a loss of a wife, a partner. Call me. I'll knock them right through the screen. So there's a lot going out in the world, even though it's post-Marine. You have a lot to do. You're starting in second life. So that said, God bless you. Sign off accordingly.
All right. Hey, Paul, thank you. Joe, thank you. I appreciate y'all. For all the listeners out there, if you are struggling, you're having a hard time, you're wanting to hurt yourself, anything like that, be sure to reach out and ask for help. You can always dial 988, press option 1. The VA is going to get you in contact with somebody that's going to help you out. If you don't feel like calling, you'd rather text, you can text 838-255. Again, that's 838-255. And same thing, they're going to be able to help you. If you like to chat online, go to their website, veteranscrisisline.net. And you can click the chat icon. You'll be able to get on there and contact somebody. This is all anonymous. You only tell them what you want to tell them, but they are there to help. And the VA has gone overboard in trying to help in these types of situations. So one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. I know that Paul and Joe care about you. All the other veterans care about you, and we want what's best for you. So again, Paul, Joe, thanks for everything. And to all my listeners out there, stay motivated, change your socks.